Hi everyone, it's Tara. Welcome to my home. I promised you guys that we would do a walkthrough. I'm not going to do the whole house, but I was going to show you the living room and the crafting areas. So let's get started. Here is our living room. Let's see if we can pull this back a little bit for you guys. And it's not, like I said, it's not fancy. This is my new rebounder I got a couple, maybe a month ago. And that's our Christmas tree. I'll go a little closer, and a few little things on the stand there. That's a bookshelf that's full of Bibles and our television. And there's our Christmas tree. Nothing too fancy. And this is my rug. I love this rug so much. And that's where the cats lay, over there on the footstool. They lay there and look out the window. That is Bobo. You guys will never, ever get the joy of seeing him in person if you came to my house, because he's a little tiny fraidy cat and he would run away. I don't know where Mia is. She's probably over on either the chair. Oh, yep, there she is. She's over here in the dining area. This is where I keep the jigsaw puzzle. I've got some Christmas decorations on the chair. That's his sister Mia. They're so shy. That's outside, and the clubhouse across the way. And so there's my little area where I have some Christmas. I've got nativity over there. And then I've got a few memorabilia in these cabinets of our families. That's Courtney's side. So I was so nervous to do this video because, you know, I don't like being on camera. So let's see. Oh, here, I'll take you to the kitchen. Here's the kitchen. As I said, nothing fancy, just a small little, it's bigger than the kitchen I had. I have gas stove. I love that. Sorry for the bright light. Oh, that's our new lamp. There we go. It helps a little bit. Isn't it cute? It's just so tiny. But it's like a little vintage glass lamp. And let's see. That goes through into the dining room right there. So over here, you guys, is the craft room where you guys have wanted to see. So let's go inside and take a look. Oh, that light is so bright. I'm going to turn that off. Hopefully y'all will be able to see. There we go. So this is the desk where I sit. And for right now, I put Vanessa's tea back there because I haven't found a place I want to hang it yet. But I think I'm going to hang it up here in this corner. But for right now, it's just settled back there. But it's going to go up there, Vanessa. And this is where I do the crafting. It's where I do all of the Bible study. And let's go ahead and we'll take a look at some stuff. Right here, I have a drawer. I have some drawers. These are always next to me. And I've changed things around a bit, but this is a drawer full of buttons, okay? I decided to put it more easily used. This is some of my papers that I pull down often. You guys have seen me pull stuff out of these drawers all the time. But now you get to see where they are. This is kind of, I have just started collecting things in here. In this little drawer here. There's my big messy fussy cuts, and this is Vanessa's drawer. Okay, you guys, Vanessa has given me so many beautiful papers that I made a drawer for her, and in this drawer we have loose papers, muslin prints, waxed doilies and papers, tissue paper prints, and everything's from Vanessa. So Vanessa, you have a drawer all for yours. And that's just your paper stuff. That's not the other stuff you sent me. And then in here we have miscellaneous. I've got like lids and stuff like that I use on the gel print. Sponges. tape. Vanessa gave me these. These are wax seals that she made for me. I always keep a lighter in here if we need one. Yeah, so just tapes and stuff like that. And then in here we have all of my like metallic things I need, and then a bunch of really pretty crystal beads that are like charms that I use for, you know, magnets. Here's magnets, and I really don't know what I would use these for, but these are, what do you call them? Not wafers. Anyway, I can't think of the word. And then in here I've got just, I think these are where I put some things from Vanessa as well. Yeah, that's where they ended up, honey. They are hiding in this beautiful little plastic keeper now. They have their own spot. And then these are just my little fussy cuts from Tina that I had. That's what I keep them in. Okay. And then this drawer is all of my inks and my, you know, plastic plates to use for inking. And then of course we have our I can't think of the word. Stamps. My stamps. Anyway, here's some of the stamps. Here's some more of the stamps. And then I have a basket full of stamps. These are all the woodblock stamps in these two drawers. And these are fussy cuts that I go to often, so I put them close to me there. And then in here is all of the powders. I have the different embossing glaze, embossing powders, and all that good stuff. In here is all my daubers, and then my punches, and my dry wipes and wet wipes. Okay. Over here is more fussy cuts, and this bottom one is where I ended up putting my little people. And my sewing machine is here, and I just pull this forward and move this out of the way. I do have another phone stand on this, so now I will be able to use my camera over here when I sew, if we so choose to. And then I have paints in this drawer, and all of my other oils and pencils and stuff like that. And then this is stencils and more paper, 12 by 12s that I have either received as gifts, and also some of my prints that I've done. Here is vellums and just all my different types of paper, like the real thin papers, you know. And then down here is more prints, and this is where I put your handmade paper, Vanessa, in that drawer. Okay. And then over here is my business desk. I do, you know, I don't really sit there, but I keep all of my businessy stuff in here. And those are markers and stuff I use for my Bible studies. Here, of course, I just have our little book that we're going to do, the glue book. And down here, oh, you know what I was just thinking? We should, on the channel, one of the things I could do is a glue book day. And we could just do, you know, some fun glue book stuff. And this is all the laces and everything like that. I've already put all the things Vanessa gave me away in there, and everybody else has given me. And then these are all different papers. One of these is Tina's. Whenever I do a Tina project, it comes out of there. And then these are some of my newer 12 by 12 pads. And then let's go over here. We have all of the, this isn't all of my tapes, of course, but we have, oh, you know what I mean, the tape. I can't think of the word. I'm having that a lot today. And then here's where all my stamps and stuff are in this little Walmart thing. I have them done by color. I keep my rulers up here, my paintbrushes up here at the top. Here's all the ribbons that I use like on the fly. I have more, you'll see in a minute, but that's the ones I use offhand in here. And then of course here's all my glues, my punches for my corners, my daubers, and some miscellaneous goodies. There's your envelopes, Vanessa. I didn't know where I wanted to put them. I don't want to just stick them away and forget about them, you know. That tends to happen in our craft rooms, huh? And I don't want that to happen. So in here, I'm going to do this and just put that up so it's not so bright. In here, I have printed out vellum and also just some random, my scripture scraps and stuff. More stamps and butterflies and just more stamps. But those are like the ones that Vanessa gave me and others that I have. Then here's some more fussy cuts. This is Tim Holtz stuff. And my words, more words. And more words, because you know I love words. And then in this, I showed you guys, I think, the other day, but I'll open it. I just have random things in here, and then this opens up, and I have the larger boots and shoes from Tina. And then here on the bottom is more fussy cuts and backgrounds. So here's some inks, my distress inks, and I keep more over here. And then in here is kind of a miscellaneous drawer. I keep like my refill distress ink and my oxide here, my woody pencils, just all my goodies, you know. And then in here is more paper. These are book pages and different stuff like that. And just, there it is. Vanessa, I was looking for this. This is our folio I had not finished, and I was going to start working on it again. Anyway, and then I have a Bible in here, some ink, and a glue book to use for pages, glue pages. So that's that. And then over here in this desk, and this is my television I use, and then my computer. Right here I have 12 by 12s and smaller, all sizes of pads in that drawer. Sorry, that was loud. This drawer gets stuck, so there we go. These are random papers I use, book pages, vintage books, and all that kind of stuff. And then down here at the bottom, we have ribbon, or my, what do you call it? I have a little bit of sari silk in there, and then my crinkle binding, seam binding, markers, pencils, pens, paper, paint, or paint sticks, and just random fun stuff. This is my new purse. I think I showed you guys. I love this purse. Anyway, my Lazy Susan. I'm going to open this. Of course, it might make it too bright. Let's see. I wanted to make more light in here. Let me get this open there a little bit so you guys can see. So over here, I have, this used to sit next to me, and it's the one I had with all the just different random things in it. So we got just all kinds of fun stuff, flat backs and the metal corners. Let's see. Safety pins of all colors and shapes, sizes. Tim Holtz frames, paper clips, bulldog clips. This is empty. So just random things in the smaller drawers as well. Here I have fussy cuts, okay? And fussy cuts here. And down here we have, this is my scrap drawer. Believe it or not, I have a drawer now and not just a Trader Joe's bag. There's my printer. If you guys were curious, this is the kind of printer I have. Okay, Canon. And then in here is more random placed items that I don't use every day, but I don't want them, you know, I don't want to get rid of them. And then over here we have, okay, this is funny. This is all of our mass makes. This is one full drawer, okay, and these drawers are about, I'd say 6 inches deep. Okay, so that's about 4 inches deep of them, and then there you go. That one's almost completely full. That's all the mass makes that we did in the past 2 years. These are just CDs. There's my sewing box. Kind of, that's a painting that my mother did years and years ago. I had to cut part of it off on the side over here because I had not a parakeet, a cockatiel, and he ate the side of my mom's painting. So I mounted it onto a black canvas, and then I did a glaze over it so that it would be protected, and that's what I got. So anyway, over here is random things. This is all for my what do you call them, the Big Shot. Yeah, this is all the and here is like the forms. I can't think. Yeah, just bear with me. I told you I was nervous to make this video. And then these are those fun little things we made a couple years, last year, I guess. Did a whole week of different videos on those. And then I keep some lace in here. And in here is tools. And in here is yo-yos and flowers, handmade flowers. So I did put Vanessa's flower little squares that you did, the paper clips. I put those in here for now. And then down here is my sewing box. And let me pull this out so you can see in. And like I said, I've got more random stuff. A few stamps down there. And then these boxes are where I keep my dyed papers, in there and in here. And there's kind of more stuff in there than just that, but that's for the most part, that's what's there. And then down there I have like dollar store and ribbons and things. This is the box I use when I do a video with the sprays, and so I keep that there, and some envelopes. Down here is all ribbons. These boxes, this hat box has flowers in it. And let's see, up here is pre-made items that, just fun stuff that we've made together, and I put them in there because they don't fit in the book that I made, and I'll show you those in a second. They are so full that I barely have space for anything in them. This is a roll of film that I never had developed. I am pretty sure it's Alex and the kids and me from years and years ago. Anyway, but here is all of the charms and stuff that we use, and you guys know I've used all these with you. Vanessa, that's where it went, with all the really pretty backings, I mean. And then this is like chains and stuff like that. I'm sorry I'm not pulling everything out, but I would make a complete mess if I did. Vanessa, here's that box she gave me, babe. And then this stuff over here is from Miss Lori. She gave me a bunch of fun little wood things, forms, and then all kinds of pre-cut, can you see them in there? Flowers and different stuff like that she did. And I apologize for not being able to think of what it's called. These are like molds that were made as well. These are from Lori. And not Laura Lore, or how do I say your last name, honey? Lara, but Lori from Canada, my friend who is also on our channel. These are the books that we made, and they are packed full of stuff that, could go into journals, just packed full. And then up here, I have some artwork, just prints that, I didn't know where to put them, so I stuck them in here with me. This whole wall here is a mirror, which I don't really prefer, but that is what was in here. So here's a bunch of charms and all the beads that I have loose here. And these are all just random things, like these are chains and necklaces that I use, old jewelry. These are all little just dollar store containers I buy and use. These are gold snowflakes, charms. Let's see. And up here is my grandma's old recipe little container. It's broken and everything, but I keep it because it was my grandma's. I would open all these, but I have my hands full. These have just random, let's see if I think these are the bigger Tim Holtz people. And these little, hold on one sec. Sorry guys. These little bags are just used, they're old makeup bags, and I use them for storing paperwork and paper stuff, you know, just fun things. This is more of the larger stamps, some Tim Holtz tissue papers, my little iron back there. This whole shelf is full of like my sprays, and then the alcohol inks and all that fun stuff. My Play-Doh. Down here we have random things, like that's a little printer there in the front my daughter bought me. That's a sprayer, paint for makeup actually, but I use it for paint. And just like my wax kit there with the seals, tape. And then down here is cloth and papers that are like, let's see if I can get it down there, just cloth and papers that are random. And up here is all of my goodies with my matte gels and like my other glues, Mod Podges, paints, chalk, wax, glitters, all that stuff. Down here is, let's see, those are stickers from the dollar store mainly. And then the bottom is 2 cases I kept with fussy cuts in it. There's my beeswax from my Vanessa, and that's a book kit right here, like a bookbinding kit. Clamps in there. These are stamps that Pammy gave me. A bunch of this stuff came from Pammy as well. That is my stamps there, the ones that are on like plastic. Have a huge thing of that. You guys have kind of seen that, or I talked about it because I was always jumping into it when I was doing videos before, and that's what's in there. This is full of like the letter stamps on woodblock. Up here, I kind of haven't really been using this for anything. I had it full of papers and stuff, and then when we moved, I kind of dumped a lot of stuff out of it. So right now it's just really holding pencils and stuff. This is kind of cool. This hammer was handmade by my grandpa. I have 2 of his handmade hammers, and this is one of them, and it's a little tiny hammer. It is as small as it looks, and it's really cool. He did this on his own machinery back in like 1944. So very cool. And then up here is random jars. I have some stickers. Oh, there's the stickers. I was looking for them earlier. And then this little guy, his name is Wabear. And he was Joey's teddy bear, my son, when he was a little boy. And he received Wabear when he was 1 week old. And the first thing he said when he saw him was, wah! And so we named him Wabear. This is my daughter when she was about 3. My daughter Maria. I'm trying to get it. I know it's very glary. That's when she was about 3 years old. And this is her as she got a little bit older. And that's Joey when he was little. Barely see him there. And then over here on this wall, I'll show you real quick, is where I have a lot of pictures of Courtney's family. That's Courtney and his son that passed away, Junior. That's Joey and Maria. And that's Joey. Joey. That's Michael, Courtney's brother. That is me and Joey in like 2000, I want to say 2012 or 13. And then that's Maria at her graduation. Now, this room is a mess. Please forgive me. It is my overflow, though. And it is the guest room, which when I get the Christmas decorations out of here and I am able to put everything away, it'll be better. But here's where I hold all of my vintage books, okay? On these 2 little shelves here. So you guys have seen this. At the bottom is like, down here at the bottom is notebooks. And then this is like my own personal library, shelves of books. And these are all the way top to bottom. You just can't see them over there and then over there. A lot of books in here. And yes, that's my wig, one of my wigs. And this is the chest of drawers we're going to take a peek in. This is where I keep all my Etsy store stuff. all my journals and things that we've made together. Sorry for the mess. There's more vintage books up here, but I have a bunch of Christmas boxes and stuff up. These the other day, if anybody would be interested in these, this is like a royal blue. They're cloth napkins, and a lady at the craft, at my clubhouse gave them to me as a gift because she said she's not going to want to use them. So if any of you would be interested in them, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 packs, and there's 5 in each pack. Could you let me know? And I would, love to ship them to you. So let me know. Okay. So here we go. This top drawer is all paint, and it is heavy. There's our gel plate ready for us to play with soon. And then this is going to be cloth. There's your cloth, Vanessa. I put it in here in this drawer. Lots of different stuff in here. My what do you call it? Cheesecloths and all that are in there, and just keeps going more and more. These are all kind of like chiffons and stuff. And then down here is more silky materials. And oops, sorry if I'm breathing heavy. I'm moving all over the place and bending up and down. This is really hard to open, so I'm not, but this is just like pillow stuffing and blanket, stuffing. And up here is some random things, some of my newer fabrics, and then drawer liners that I used, and cabinet liners that I had left over. This is also miscellaneous, just bags for my business, and then like paper bags, brown wrapping that we can use for something. I don't know. I usually use it for food, actually. And then this is laces, different big old pieces of lace. Here's some corks. I bought these for like 50 cents, this huge bag, and I use them for my daubers. So yeah, burlap, or not burlap, what's this called again? Anyway, you know what I mean. And then these are just like filled with miscellaneous things, staples, and there's some twill in here, and some miscellaneous fabric. And then down here is all a bunch of my frilly stuff that I use on my journal covers. Okay. And then over here, when it's not covered in paint, is this cute little dresser with albums and jewelry boxes and stuff. But right now it's covered in, stuff that I'm still using to do my house. I haven't finished painting my house yet. So I'm close. I've just got my bedroom and the bathroom. So in here, I didn't have anywhere to hang this because my wall in there is panel. And when I tried to hang this, it kind of just fell forward and it wasn't working. And the other wall is mirror. So I ended up using a drawer for all my threads. And then here's all of my beautiful napkins that my beautiful, precious friends have shared with me, because you know very well that I didn't have any collection until you guys came into my life. And then here's more fabrics. Okay. And down here is more fabric. Fun, right? So that, I think, ends our tour of the house. And do I have lipstick on my teeth? Anyway. But that ends the tour of the crafting area. That's my laundry room back there. And I hope that you guys enjoyed it. And thank you for your prayers. Thank you for putting up with me all this time when I talked about the craft room and how I didn't have enough room to work and all those things. This is my window over here. I actually have a window, but it does go out onto a porch, so it's not as bright. We have a pretty big porch that we can go sit on, which is wonderful. We will do like a live Bible study or something from there sometime. That might be fun, right? So anyway, I love you guys. Thank you so much for everything that you always share with me and have been there for me. and just your friendship and letting me come into your home and get to know you all. And I love you, and I will see you in the next video. Mwah!